How you guys doing? It's Andrew at FloryPB, and I was starting to take this threshold apart, and I realized that my camera stopped recording. So apologize for that. Let's rewind a little bit. I'm not going to put this back together to get back to this point here, because all I did was took the eye covers off. I noticed the detents. They are sprung. They kind of look like WDP detents a little bit from like an 04 Speed A4 generation. Springs and everything look good on that. Took the CP regulator off that's on it. The barrel's sitting over here. Apologize that the bench is horrendous. I'm going through an electronics project right now, so I'm just getting this, breaking this down. I want to look inside of it. Sunday, there's a Top Gun memorial game. Top Gun used to be, that was the first paintball field in New Jersey. Went through a whole rigmarole and hassle to actually get built in the late 80s, early 90s range. And yeah, that was my paintball home, basically. I played for Top Gun teams. I went to one of the owners' weddings. Like, you know, it's my home. There's my family in paintball is Top Gun. So we're gonna do the honorary game over at Cousins Paintball down in Manchester. And you know, Carl Jr. and Carl Sr. were two of the owners of Top Gun towards the end when the landlord just sold the land out from under him. Carl Sr. passed away a few years ago, but they both liked pink guns. They're big guys. Junior's got a big beard always, normally, and they just shot pink guns normally. So I have this pink threshold. I'm building boards for DP markers, so I figured let me get this going and see if I can play with this in the memorial game. Just news on the board front. This would be a Fusion Elite / a G5 Spec R board. This is a Fusion FX board. This is a G3, G4, E1, maybe some other things. I think the FX board also doubles as a Rev I board, or close to it. And this is the threshold board. I'm waiting on packaging to get here for this stuff. I'm waiting for my tins to ship from the slow boat. So I am hopefully to get these released rather soon. Wow, this is 2 different size Allen keys. I hope this is right. I don't know what I'm doing. So I've never taken one of these apart. I assume they're just an ion. But maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive these are just ions inside. But I do kind of appreciate the threshold. I feel like after feeling all the markers I have, this one feels like the most ergonomically correct, I guess. Because a lot of them just feel a little off to me. But this one feels pretty good. This is horrific, whatever I'm doing here, though. Like, who builds these? How? Does it slide? No? The rear's out. Do I have... the one size I don't have. Well. So yeah, it's been a bit of an adventure. I have 4 of the boards prototyped out. I want to play with one. If I can. That'd be nice to get on the field with one of these boards and one of these markers. Put this together. Maybe I can improve it somewhat. And then, you know, sometime this winter I'll sell it off to someone else. With the new upgraded board and everything in it. Maybe one day I'll get this. I'm starting to see their solenoid. Takes all that power. There's a big nut in there too. That's all one piece integrated, so maybe it's you. I think it's standard. I don't know. I think it's all standard thread. Seems that way so far. Yeah, this is all standards. Okay. Oh, that was just a trigger thing I was dicking with. Okay, I like that better. Let's be careful with these giant fittings. Okay. That was just a trigger adjustment. Interesting. Yeah, that spring is fierce in there. Let's see what we can do. It's not the worst trigger, honestly. This is it's the best trigger that I've felt on any of the DP markers that I've had the pleasure of fondling. I cannot for the life of me get this out. I'll probably just have to replace the whole macro fitting. Okay, frame is off for right now. I mean, nice solenoid. They're definitely theirs. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's carefully take the eyes out. I know the eyes do work on this because I did have my board in to test this one. That's really cool. Impressed by the solenoid. It takes a good amount of power, but it's direct drive, and this is like, I wasn't expecting a solenoid to look like this. I was expecting one of the more rudimentary, big clappernoid, smacking a three-way kind of deals. But that's, good job. Good job, DP. This is, like, it works. This feed neck setup, I do like how it works, but, like, that's a thick boy. Why is this so thick? It does work very nice, though, so interesting move. That's so chunky. And the marker's so, like, dainty, and that's so chunky right there. I don't love straight aluminum back blocks like this where you gotta unthread them. But let's see. It looks good. It looks like no one tore out the threads on it. Or tore out the Allen. Whoa! She got a spring. Oh. Whoa! I did not expect that. Interesting. Interesting. How do you get out? Do you come out the front or the back? You gotta go out the back. There's some stuff in there. Interesting. Okay. What? Okay. So it is an ion. What is the spring for? Does that, like... Okay, so that, like, forces it back. Is that just like an anti-bolt stick, maybe? Or are they cheating? How does the air come in? How does it... I did not expect that inside this. But that makes sense why this one's so big. And the other ones are so, like, you know, half block looking. Wow. Okay. Look at you, DP. This was cool. This is really cool. How you come out? You just come out? I don't want to break it. I see there's like a capture mechanism. Oh, it's got a little shelf in there, I guess. Okay, I don't want to spring that spring out. I don't see any... There's no seals back there for the spring. You have the seal here, which I'm assuming this is all the way forward. Does it break through that? How does this fire? Is there another step in the bore? I don't know if gold bolt means anything. Is that like a Techt T bolt or something? Or is it just they made them gold because it was their fancy marker? So that's all the way forward. So there's 3 bores. I don't know if you can see down in there and actually see them, but you'll see 3 sets of like rings. So it's like a descending bore. So this is obviously the smallest one, and the front has this bolt in it with this crusty stuff on it. So air's right up here. It shoves the bolt back. When it vents, the bolt's allowed to come forward, and everything behind it's pushing it forward. What's pushing on it is the center there, because I'm assuming, yeah, like that. This is your dump chamber. So when this comes forward, I guess it's still pushing this back because of the... Yeah, so there's like an extra lip on here. So this seals. This is the back seal of the bolt chamber, I'll call it. Like that. And yeah, this has to pump through there. Wait, now I'm confused. How far do you fit in? So it's not an anti first shot drop off. That doesn't go any further forward. What are you doing in there? And this has a seal on it. Is that just to put pressure on that? That'd be pretty dick-ass. But this can't go forward. I thought this was like a clever way to seal. But why is that there? Alright, let me see if this is a Techt T bolt. That's the first thing, because lucky Techt T, whatever you want to... Techt T thresh bolt. It is. That is a so why? L7 bolt engine. Did the same thing for the Revi, which fine. Why does it do that? Paint, typing in DP on things. Poor branding. So that is a Techt T-bolt. For the life of me, I don't know what it does. That makes more sense. The stock bolt there. That probably, the stock bolt was like some long boy that was back here and opened up. And then the air rushed from back here, I guess. Or something. But, the hell does this thing do? How does this work? Let me see if there's an animation for it. What the fuck does L7 even mean? Like, that's for the G3, G4, but like, that doesn't do dick. It's just an ion bolt. What? It doesn't seal the dump chamber or anything. Why? It does the same thing this does. What the Alright. That's a quest. Why does it have all this shit in there? This was $75. Holy shit. I'm sorry, I'm coming off the rails here. I don't know. Rear gray section of bolts crushed with rugged plastic polymer. Super smooth finish. Anodized gold and Teflon impregnated. Much softer sound signature. Increased consistency. Increased efficiency. Lower dwell. Easy installation. Why? I have like a strong feeling this is just all a bunch of witchcraft and they just want to put something in there. I can't for the life of me think what the hell this actually does. This gets stuck. It's got a, doesn't go this way. No. If it went this way, does it go that way? That would be stupid. I throw the Teflon impregnated gold anodized aluminum bolt, sorry. What the fuck? Mine doesn't look like that. Looks a little different. This has like a weird little cut off here. You guys have like a product manual? You could buy these for shockers and geos? Interesting. And die markers. Oh. That's a rail. So, I mean, it's a whole new world for me. I never seen this. This is like post me messing with markers like this. What the fuck does it do? Okay, looks like this part with the O-ring does touch the bolt, and this is a way to center it, which is fine and reasonable, and the bolt slips through there. I don't see it going the other way, where or does it go the other way? Then that doesn't sit on that. If it went that way, which I don't think it goes, then that would not push the bolt. No, the bolt wouldn't get pushed any further forward. But I don't think that's the way that works. That just seems like the way that works. But this caps off here. So there's a 0. You get air there. This might back up a little bit. But why? Fucking why is all this shit here? Is that crooked? Does that go down more? Like, my best guess is all of this stuff is just here to keep the cap spot pressed tight into place. So that means this O-ring doesn't do anything because this O-ring does it now. So, I mean, they effectively changed. Yeah, it's... Huh. Wish it came with the stock bolt. I really do. I know it would be heavier. This is lighter. I guess it makes sense. This is a lighter bolt, less mass. Probably moves quicker that way. So I guess they could claim a little bit slower, a little bit less dwell to get it moving. And that also means a little, and it has pressure on it here, so it has more balance to push it, I guess. Maybe. So, I mean, it has to. I assume. I'd have to run the... I assume a regular threshold bolt kind of looks like this without any of these holes in it. And the whole thing comes forward. So you have this ring, which is probably more area, but it's much more bolt to push. And if I am imagining the 3 steps here, I bet at one point this was supposed to seal the breach, but then they got patented out of that from Dye being dickheads to people. So it doesn't really matter. Interesting. So L7 bolt, guys, that is... Don't buy these. I guess it works. I guess it does a little bit. Makes this a lot lighter, so that's what's going to give you your lower dwell. Does feel slick, so they did get PTFE or something on it. Congratulations, guys. You did do it. All right, let's change out some rings. See what we can do. That's an 015 in the front, definitely. This is probably like an 016, 017. This is a bumper. It's probably fine, but let's do an extreme O-ring kit for the Techt L7. These are the same size. One is slightly smaller, maybe. I think I have a 15, 16, 17 here. So, front's an 015. One of these metrique, maybe. O17's too big. I think the rear ring's an 016, the front's an 015, and I'm just going to put a 50 durometer bumper on there. That feels about right. So a couple quad rings and a 50 durometer bumper instead of the 70 they have. That should make this extremely good. Make sure that goes in seats. Yeah. And for what it's worth, they got the seal good. That is a nice seal. So, like, bravo to them. There's gotta be some shit in the breech. Keeps getting dirty. Let's see what's going on. Keep getting my tip dirty when I stick it in. Right, got the cleaning going already now. So one other thing we have to really worry about is that little one in there then. I think. It's a little late, a little tired. Maybe I am missing something major here. But it seems like an ion. With whatever unicorn fart bolt they came up with at the end there. Probably not 016. You're probably the same size as this. Yeah. I don't need a quad ring for this that doesn't move. I don't have any. I don't think I have any regular 016 O-rings. It's not a size that I carry for a lot of other stuff. Get this O-ring out of this rugged plastic shell. Yeah, I have a ton of 015s because they're super common in paintball. 016 is not as common and stuff. At least not the stuff I work on normally. Well, if it does move, it's going to move better. But I don't think this moves. I think that's a static part there. What's an important seal? This one could probably be a U cup. Let me go try to find this. Looks like an 012 or so. Doesn't look like it's quite right. Might be a metrique. We'll find that out. This thing pisses air everywhere. But we have an 012 quad. That one very easy. Looks alright. I don't know. That seems a little too slick. Looks a little big. I think it's some metric O-ring. That has a little more drag on it. Let me look at my bastard metric collection, see if I can find anything. I'm gonna try one more weird ring. I have this is a quad ring, like a double quad ring. There's like an extra rib for your pleasure in it. This is also an 012. These are a bit stiffer normally. Nah, it's just too big. Let me try an 011. That's some kind of metric ring. I think the 11's too small, the way it seems. Yeah, that's too small. Nah, it's way too small. Alright, so this one's going back, unfortunately. I don't have a way to replace that. There's a lot of metric rings in this world. Yeah, I'm not getting that fit with the 012. There's like some drag there. The 012s just dump right through. That ring doesn't matter because that's not doing dick. See, if this thing pushed forward, maybe it does something, but like, no, it can't do anything. It doesn't do a fucking thing. This is just there. I mean, simple gun. Ions are simple, but simple gun. I do appreciate that. I guess it ain't a bad little shooter, or not a bad little looker, the way it is. Even the Techt thing, it makes it easy to get lube on that spot that you need lube, which is right here. And only right here. I mean, I don't need lube up here. That's in the breech. You don't want to lube your breech O-rings too much because then you get oil down your barrel. Clean the bores out. Think you're in. Kind of feels in. This ring needs to get lubed. Still does something. It looks fine. Makes this even more dangerous. Nice coarse thread though. Good for them. It's not like a Shocker SFT. It has some real fucking tiny threads on it. Nice coarse thread. Hard to cross thread that when you're fighting that spring that shouldn't be there, but is. Alright, so bolts back in. The Noid looks fine, just fine, but I mean, beefy Noids do like the Noids. I think these things are not cheap, but nice and compact. Clearly can take some pressure. And kicks like a mule with the size of capacitor they tell you to put on this thing. The size of capacitor they do have on this thing. Yeah, that goes. Does that go this one? That has to go this way. I do appreciate they use the standard threads, like, you know, everyone besides basically Angel and Spider. Even the great Planet Eclipse. Those British guys are still using standard threads for paintball stuff, or used to be at least when I would touch that stuff. Yeah, it's... you gotta like ions. They're very simple. And yeah, this is really nice. This is very decent marketer's service. So give DP a lot of props there. The older one here is a lot of fun. Not a lot of struggle. Let's make sure these are clean. And like it channels in nicely. Oh, this one goes over. Okay, that's fine too. But yeah, like they left enough room in the body. For these. So you're not going to pinch them super easy with your trigger frame. So yeah, big props to them on that. I like detents like this. Are they supposed to go this way? I think they do go that way. Interesting. I thought it was backwards. It's not. The looks like the cone side comes out, which is fine. Is that the right one? Or is this the right one? Is that how that was? I think so. And like amount of Allen keys I have to use, not lots, not a lot of keys, which is good. That's not right. It's gotta be you. Yeah, that looks about right. Love the detents. Nice thick boys, sit real far in there. This is probably not a fun marker to clean if you get shot on, though. Even the milling, like, very well done, especially for the, were these like $600 or something like that when they came out? Like, these weren't stupid money. Real clean machining for what it is. Like, it's not bad, especially because it's all 3D profiled. Like, you can see some tooling marks, but I think you see tooling marks on Eclipse guns, and those are like $1,500 and stuff like that. So, like, I don't really mind seeing that on this. It looks nice. Like, it's a nice looking little marker, the way they did it. Let's see. Whoa. Alright. There's quite a heavy spring on this thing. Not used to markers that this is together. That's done, ready to fire. Wish you knew what that Techt TO ring was. But I'm not going to mess with it. Oh. Oh, that's not as nice. Cheaped out on the trigger. It doesn't feel horrible, but that's compared to other DP triggers. Oh my. Alright, what we're going to do is I'm going to play with this. And then I'm going to get a determination in my mind if I want to make a trigger for these. Might. Because that's just not cool, man. It just rides on a bolt. It's not even polished. Huh. Let me get rid of that trigger spring for right now, because there's a lot of schmoo in here. Wonder if that solenoid's leaking. Might have been saying a lot of nice things about a solenoid that's leaking. Because I have no idea if this thing works. Alright, we lost that trigger spring, which I think that's a tricky trigger spring too. It's conical. Yeah, the trigger went from feeling fine to me to crusty real quick. Let's get some lube in there at least. That might need that spring. Things weighted like shit. Ah. That's terrible. All right. Let's don't love trigger springs. I would say it doesn't need one, but because of their patent infringement stuff, they needed to put a non-micro switch sensor on the board. Because I think this gun came out back when both die and smart parts were being dickheads. Well, that feels better that I clipped that spring. Let me see if I can pull that spring out. I mean, props, that holds in there pretty well for a spring just sitting there like that. Maybe that's enough. I'm just a little afraid. Yeah, I'm a little afraid. If I'm pointing it up, I need that spring. Alright. Big hole for these chonky PH2 connectors, which I do like. I honestly appreciate that they're using the big connectors. Looks a little hokey for, you know, modern paintball, but I mean, they work really well. Like they're stronger than like the Molexes and stuff like that you get the Bob Long guns in. You get with the Bob Long guns. Even the JST, the ZH connectors that you find a lot of markers, the 1.5mm stuff. This 2mm stuff is definitely, you know, sturdier. I am missing a bolt. There's one of these guys that goes back here. Okay, so that does a little slide on. Was there a beaver tail or something? Or a snatch grip, I mean. Beaver tail, sorry. Is there a snatch grip that went on this, probably? Because I have this extra hole here. There's not a lot of extra holes in a DP normally, so... Oh, just a little bit. Alright. Let me crack open this boy. I don't know what this barrel is either. 6.8 massive probably, but I'll use whatever barrel I want or I need to use on the field, so that's not really much of a problem to me. Like, the barrel looks good. I don't know what they were doing with the newer generation barrel. It's got kind of like a looks like an uncut head sitting on the front of it for some reason. Very strange setup they went, phallically strange setup they went with there on the newer stuff. Let me grab one of these old O-rings. Man, yeah. Like, good thread choices. It's not the newer style where it's reverse threaded, but I don't particularly like that too much. A little lube on the thread, so easier to take apart. Yeah, a little O-ring help it set, so it's not going to move on you. Should I take apart this? I think I'm going to clean it and just get some air in it. Like, I like I think they call that the wraps ASA. Or, yeah, wraps bottom line ASA, whatever you want to call it. But just the side. I know it has to be side fire, but it just sucks that it's coming out the side, the macro fitting. I know it has to be the way that they made this thing. It is a cool ASA, and I'm glad that, I'm glad this marker came with an on-off ASA. It came with the clamping feet. It looks weird as shit. It looks like it's upside down. Is it upside down? I don't know, but it looks strange as hell. But it does look like it works well. Chunky, boy, but works well, hopefully. I don't know why they do this whole thing where they put the Allens, or they put the board in through the back. That's gonna be brutal. Jesus. New fittings. I don't know what these fittings are about. But they don't seem like they're about anything good. So. Looks a little crusty in there. Definitely someone took a shot there. That's a fun thing to clean. Oi. Alright. We're committed. I mean, I don't love this bolt configuration for the trigger, but I do think it's smart for the ASA. Something gonna flick. Not much. Yeah, like, that's just a good design. Good for them. You can see where people are getting enthralled. I can see where you could, look at this marker like this was an actual option. I'm pretty glad I made a board for this one. They kind of seem like they deserve to be usable. Pain in the dick to clean, though. Like that nice chunky thing. I could take a lesson with their little crappy quarter turn thing they made. I think they've changed that. I think it's a slap now or something like that. Because the ASA on my DSR is atrocious. Found the hole. Found both holes. We're in it now. Yeah, nice system. Sucks it has to be a side port, but you really can't do that with a front port. Where is this? Oh, these are branded DP too. Yeah, they hold on. They bite like motherfuckers. Jesus. Get the vise with the soft jaws. And the rag. The pinks don't match, but it's alright. Fucking kidding me? It just pulled the bottom of the rag off. At least this part's the strong part. The 2-point crush, I don't love it, but weirdly, this pink regulator didn't come on this threshold. This had some black regulator on it. This was on a G4 or G3, whatever the G series that I purchased to check that one out was. This was on that, but that gun is blue. So it was a happy accident that worked out. Come on, CP. There we go. Come on down. All right. Just a CP rag. Unhappy. Why are you so unhappy? I like how unassuming CP regs are. They just do their thing. Replace that. So this one's just a 114. That I do have a quad ring for that. Did I crush you? I don't think so. This is like an 08 or something like that, 008. 010, my bad. These are in every other stack on the bevel washers on these. I like to load up the seat here. Like, just very simple regs. Not the best, not the worst. They just do their thing. I do like CP regs a lot. Like an eighth. That felt weird. There it goes. Seal looks good. That looks good. Just hose it down. Make sure the ramp portion faces towards the hole. And then you can adjust it a little bit. Grab the ball. Doesn't really need any lube, but it's okay. Ah, the ball goes in first. Damn it. Forgot. Not an Angel Mini Reg. There we go. Just like that. I'll put that way in for right now. That side. This side. Tighten it down. Clean the extra off. I get an 050 because I like these to be softer O-rings. Wow. Nah, I think it's 070 still. 050. You can go 92. It's very sharp what it's going into. If I can get away with it, 050. Alright. Let me find my board screws and my grips. I have a conglomerate of DP stuff here. It's these. Grips are filthy. They obviously were, I guess, poly or urethane of some kind. So a little isopropyl kind of cleans them up. Best we're gonna get. Guess the pink turned a little red. Matches the front, so that's good. Let me pop this isopropyl closed. I'm starting to get a little kicker going. Let's see. Which ones were you? Maybe this one? Feels pretty good. Yep. Or if I can. So you gotta like bend your. I like that. I want the longer reach out front. So I just bent that up a little bit more. I'll make sure it's not touching there though. Worst case, you can snip it down. Maybe not with those. You get better snips. So yeah, I have that activation point kind of closer. I just snip that down. Eyes, solenoid. I'm gonna go grab the 9-volt adapter. 9-volt adapter. 9-volt. Okay. And the eyes are working. I know I have some new .45 elbows, but I can't seem to find where I have them placed, unsurprisingly. Right, you can see through there. I'll be right back. Let me get some fittings on here. Out of battery. Low on air. I'm gonna fill this tank up and I need some more dwell. Oh shit. Whoops. Dumbass. Alright, that's the result, I think. Oh wow, degassed the whole gun. That's good. Can get a little more air and no leaks. Shooting. It's an ion, makes sense. But yeah, threshold with my board in it. And hopefully I can get this thing tuned up to go play a Top Gun Memorial game with. Alright guys, Andrew at FloryPB, just a quick taste of what's coming with the boards. And again, I'm sorry that I'm waiting on the cases of all things to come in from the slow boat from China. But it should be here soon. Everything else is kind of here. And you'll see some videos coming within hopefully this month of these, with these up for sale, and get them out into the wild. All right, guys. Andrew at FloryPB. Thank you.